Yes, everybody, the doctor is in. My name is Dr. J. Thomas. This is the HIV Diaries podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Podbean, Facebook, facebook.com/HIV Diaries, Spirit Life Media at yahoo.com. You may also find us on Stitcher and iHeartRadio. And I can't believe I have to continue to adjust this mask. This is just not working out for me. I have a bigger than normal head. No jokes. Please. So the standard masks don't fit me well, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but that's the era we live in, the COVID era. And speaking of eras, this particular episode today of the HIV Diaries is going to take us back to November 22nd of 2017. So 3 years ago this month. It's going to be kind of interesting to look back on this, I think. I just watched it, but kind of setting it up for you guys. And with this reflections show that we're doing today, we're looking back at a time when they were having issues getting me undetectable. I was diagnosed in June of 2017, as I've spoken about before, and it takes typically between around 90 to 120 days or so, give or take, to get me undetectable. Well, we got to November of 2017, and I still wasn't undetectable. And so back when I had started the HIV Diaries podcast, back when I started the HIV Diaries, it was originally a video blog. It was not a podcast, right? So what ends up happening is, at this point in time, I'm still kind of struggling with things, and I decided to take the camera into the waiting room. God, this mask is a pain in the ass. I'm sorry. And I decided to take the mask. God, you see, this is distracting here. There. All right. So I decided to take the camera into the room with me, into the waiting room and into the hospital and everything else to get this done. Okay. To show you what was going on and to kind of walk you through everything. And so I went back and watched this recently for the first time in 3 years. And it was interesting. Really interesting. So here you guys are from November 22nd of 2017, the HIV Diaries video blog. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And we'll be back afterwards, post reflections, I guess. We'll see you after the video. Enjoy the flashback. Good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time of the day it may be for you when you are watching this video. This is kind of a special edition of the HIV Diaries for this webisode. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it on the road today. All right. And what you're going to do is you're going to come along with me today as I go do a blood draw. And this blood draw today that I'm recording this, which is Wednesday, November 22nd, it's just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, is kind of an important one. And I'll tell you why. We've been trying to get me undetectable now for the last going on almost 6 months. And there's been some ups and some downs, and we're almost there. Like, we're almost there. And it's just every time we take one step forward, it's like we get put back a step to a step and a half. It's not much, but it's just enough to where it keeps me from being where I need to be. And I'm almost undetectable. I'm almost there. And today's blood draw is important because if today's blood draw does not show that I'm undetectable, then they are going to change my medication. And my medication will change to something besides, don't know what, but it's going to change to something else. So keep your fingers crossed and pray that today goes good. So we're going to take you on the road today, and here we go, I guess. You know, I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about today. I like to think everything's going to come out good. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. We'll have to wait and see. Health Center on the campus of the University of Toledo. And here we are.
Gotta love the wait time. Get my daily fill of soap operas. It's been a while since I've gotten to see what's going on in Genoa City.
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh,
Yep. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm not too bad about yourself. Good. Let me get my stuff off here. Oh. Okay.
Tell me first, last name, and date of birth.
9/29/82. I'm just gonna get this off. It'll make it easier.
Okay. Does it matter what term?
No, this was preferable.
Okay.
If you're able to. They sometimes have difficulty finding a vein. It's kind of runs in my family.
Cooking?
I'm doing the turkey this year. I'm also doing mashed potatoes. And I'm apparently doing sweet potatoes.
Okay. So is that new for you, the sweet potatoes?
The sweet potatoes, yes. Mashed potatoes and turkey, no. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, I've actually never made before from scratch. I've got a recipe at home, just as a little cheat sheet. You know what I mean, just to kind of get me started. But I've never done them before.
You mean like sweet potato pies, or you make it just like baked, like sweet, like almost like a baked potato, sweet potato?
Oh, well, it's going to be cut up. Like I'm going to cut up fresh sweet potatoes and cut them up and that kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was going to do the pie. That was the plan. But I kind of decided now I can, but I'll stick with something a little more simpler first. And then...
So in other words, you're going to practice and play with it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That way I can kind of get it down, get figured out what I need to do, and go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, some of you may be asking, well, where was that recorded at? Well, that was recorded here in Toledo at the University of Toledo Medical Center Ryan White Clinic over on Arlington Avenue. And it was recorded at a time when the people at the University of Toledo Medical Center were doing what they could to get me undetectable. And it was also at a time when things were very different in regards to the relationship between myself and that clinic. As some of you know who have been listening for a long while, things didn't exactly end well between myself and that clinic. And as of April of, this past April 2020, I can now legally and legitimately say, due to some findings courtesy of a personal Facebook attack, that, there definitely was a privacy violation. And it was very much to blame on part. Not wholly, of course, but an overwhelming majority of it did take place courtesy of the people at the University of Toledo Medical Center Ryan White Clinic. This was also, this video that you just saw was when I had a different doctor as well. And not to say that would have mattered, but things were just different back then. And the relationship back in November of 2017 was very different. And I looked forward to going, and I looked forward to getting taken care of. And, when that privacy violation took place, it changed everything. And people can try to justify it all they want, and this will be all I'll say about this, and then I'll do my outro and get out, is I've heard some people say that the only reason I got upset was because I wanted something that I wasn't entitled to. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. Fact of the matter is this. I was upset because there was fraud, and I was upset because people violated my privacy and people violated my civil rights. That's what I was upset about. I could have cared less about things that I was entitled to, because ultimately, if I'm entitled to it, I know I'm going to get it. So what good is it going to do for me to get upset over something, people attempting to give me something they know I'm entitled to in hopes it'll make a problem go away? What good does that do? It does nothing. Doesn't make the problem go away. It just hides the truth. And I was not about that. And I blew the whistle on the whole operation. And we'll discuss that at a later program in the Reflections series. So stay tuned for that. But that's all I got to say about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular Reflections program. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for joining us here at the HIV Diaries podcast. Spirit Life Media at yahoo.com is how you get in touch with the program. Facebook.com/HIV Diaries. You may also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, when it wants to, YouTube, Podbean, and of course, as I said, Facebook, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. Thank you once again so much for joining us. You guys have a great build, I guess, to Thanksgiving, and stay warm out there. All right, it's getting a little chilly. Take care. God bless.